Hello everybody, it's me, the Medium Tank Enjoyer. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to embark on a journey unlike ever before. I am going to attempt to defeat every repeatable boss in Battle Nations without spending a single nanopod. From the Ancient Construct all the way up to the Kraken and Dreadnought, we're going to be doing this completely free to play. We're not even going to spend the nanopods we get through normal progression. So this is going to be complete zero nanopod run. It's extra spice. I think it'll be more fun this way. If the Ancient Sentinel gets added before I finish the run, we're going to add him to the plate as well. He's a nice challenge. I really like the ranged and melee frags, and I think that it would be fun to add him if they add him before the run ends, basically. It's going to take at least a couple of months to get through this, so we'll see where it goes. Yeah, I want to fight the Ancient Sentinel. So now, if you've never heard of Battle Nations before, this is essentially a city builder with a layer of turn-based strategy hidden underneath. You'll see what I mean once we get into some battles. If you've never seen this before, I welcome you. It'll be a treat. The game first dropped on iPhone back in late 2011, and it shut down in 2016. It was a sad day for us all. But the game was revived earlier this year by a small group of dedicated developers. They go by Madrona Games. I'll post the link to their official Battle Nations Discord in the description of this video. Make sure to check it out because they're great guys and you'll find a huge, awesome community of Battle Nations people there. I started playing Battle Nations in 2012. That was when I first started. Just after the heavy tank was added to the game. So this was a long time ago. I think max level was like 35. And max level at the game's closing was, I think, 70? Yeah, man, that was a long time ago. And I continued playing on and off all the way up until the very end. And, sometimes I'd come back to it. I'd take a couple months off and so on and so forth right until September when it ended in 2016. So I decided to start this series at this point in the game, at level 12, as you can see here, instead of on a fresh account. So the reason I didn't want to do a fresh account is because, in my opinion, the game doesn't really get going until you've got your first Iron Mine. This just completed today, and we are rocking and rolling. Before this point in the game, we're basically going through a glorified tutorial, and it's a really good tutorial, but the way people approach this game is that it's a kind of a cookie cutter thing. Everyone does the exact same thing up until this point. You have a lot of shops to level yourself up. You get your iron mines as quickly as possible, your logging camps, your quarries, and you get a couple of warehouses. You basically go through it the exact same way. You don't really buy much other than what the story makes you buy, because all of these lower level units are kind of trash. So you don't really produce as much as you would want yet, and this is when things really get going. So now our journey begins, and the first thing we're going to do is rank our wimps. So if you don't know, the wimp is quite possibly the weakest unit in the game, but when he's max rank 6, he becomes an absolute unit, and you will see what I mean when we get there. For now, we are just casually grinding him while we have these low levels to go through, because once we get higher leveled, we're going to be able to fight much higher leveled opponents, and we're going to be able to level them up way faster. But until that happens, we're just going to casually move along and get as much SP as we can here, because there's nothing else really at this level you want to be ranking up. It's always going to be your wimp. Nothing else is really worth the grind, in my opinion. So maybe the soldier, but we'll unlock him in a bit. So the hullabaloo with the wimp is that at rank 6, he becomes basically the greatest farming tool in the game. He's useful all the way up until the end. And once we get to the end, He's useful in boss strikes, he's useful in occupations, he's useful to help other people grind SP so they can grind their wimps up. And they're just really cheap to heal, they take almost no time at all, and there's never really a reason why you wouldn't want to have a couple of these guys with you. As you can see though, they're terrible right now. And we just lost a Flame Trooper, which is really bad. Very bad RNG on that. He's going to take an exorbitant amount of resources to heal, and we do not want that to happen. So in anticipation of that, because these guys are never really worth it to heal, they're kind of trash. After you get the 2 for free, you never want to make any more. They're a giant nanopod sink. So instead we're going to use heavy gunners this time. These guys are super cheap to heal, and they do about the same thing. Man, these mammoths are beating into me. But it's alright, we'll heal everybody up, and as long as the wimps survive, we're going to get max SP from this. And that's all we really care about, is the wimps surviving. These guys have a pretty low healing cost as well. And yeah, this grind, you're seeing the grind is kind of tough because the wimp is trash. There's no real excuse for him. And I realized I actually didn't place the correct formation here. You really want this guy, you really want a gunner behind the gunner so that you can double hit the front row. It really saves time. And yep, you can see again, they're just gnawing into my units. These mammoths are tough. Okay, luckily we only lost 1 this time, so we can just take these guys out. And yeah, the whip grind is real, man. You just keep going like this until you fill all the bars. By next video, we're definitely going to have my wimp ranked up to level 2, and we'll keep going from there onto the rank 3 grind. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next week for the next part of the grind. We're going to keep going in like this every week. We're going to check up on my base. My plans for the channel are to keep this a weekly kind of series. There's going to be a central theme around fighting these bosses. You know, we're going to go General Ash first, then we're going to take out Gantis. We'll stop by the Ancient Construct, see how we're doing there. Without any super tanks, might I add, because most people killing the Ancient Construct with super tanks. It's way harder with just FTP units. We'll see if we can do it with just tank killers. That'll be fun. And then after that, we'll go to the Dreadnought and the Kraken. And the hard part with those guys is going to be the Raptor class battleships are going to suck to use against those guys. No monster grouper, no tactical sub, no mammoth class battleship. It's just going to be buoys, baby groupers, and R1s, the Raptor class battleship. That's going to be an experience. I can't wait to get there with you guys. That's going to be awesome. Anyway, since this is going to be weekly, I'm going to fill the gaps in between with prepared content. So, for example, next week I'm planning on doing a tier list of every nanopod unit available to train at the barracks. So we're going to do a deep dive on the barracks, all the nanopod units. I'm going to be giving my opinions on what the roles of each nanopod unit in there does, how good they are, what niches they fill, whether or not they're a must-buy or if they're complete trash. And we're going to find out that this game has a lot of trash, so stay tuned for that. Let me know what topics you guys want to see discussed in the comments below. I'll make a video on the most requested topic, so whatever you want to see my opinion on, or if you just want to hear me talk, go ahead and suggest something below. And if you enjoyed the video and want to see me make it all the way to the Kraken, and you want to see me torture myself, go ahead and drop a like on the video, leave a comment with any suggestions, and subscribe for more cool Battle Nations content. Thank you, and remember to grow the tank mentality.